There is a deep darkness and pragmatism in women and girls that I rarely see explored in media, but Yellow Jackets was refreshing because it was unafraid to do so. In Yellow Jackets, cannibalism is more than just a gory way to survive. It reflects deep, dark desires, jealousy, and maybe even love. A high school girls' soccer team is stranded in the woods after a devastating plane crash, and they resort to some extreme measures in order to survive. It's an interesting enough premise, but it wasn't enough to hook me initially. Once I finally gave this show a chance, I saw how beautifully it married the adult lives of the survivors and the past story of them as teenagers struggling to make it. As we, the audience, are ping-pong between the nostalgic 90s and present day, we ask more questions. How are they able to still be friends or talk to each other in the future after we just saw them fall out as teenagers? And while there is a supernatural force at play known as the Wild, it is not just doing things to the girls. Instead, it's bringing up things that they have tried to hide from themselves and pushing it to its darkest conclusion. So how fitting is it that by the end of season 2, all of the girls have gathered in this place of healing, where they have to confront this darkness inside of them. But it's not all darkness. It's also their ability to survive, even if it means making hard decisions. And while as adults they like to say, well, that's in the past. We went through something traumatic, it was horrible, no one can understand it. The thing is, that darkness was in them before they even crashed, as children, as teens, and it would follow them into adulthood. What I love about this story, even though it's very extreme, it still manages to be relatable. Who hasn't had these tumultuous relationships with their friends? They've done things in the past that maybe they're not proud of, but at some point in the future, they're still able to sit together, be friends, laugh, smile, and drink together. And oh boy, by the time we get to those last couple of episodes of season 2, we get that amazing compilation, that intersplicing of a scene of one girl beating the absolute life out of another girl, and them as adults partying and celebrating together. It's wild. And it's honestly surprising how interesting this show manages to be, even though we know at least a couple of characters that survive till the end. So you might think, oh, well, we see the flash forwards, we know who made it, so why do I care to watch these stories of the teenagers struggling to survive? It's still interesting, and there's little things that are withheld from us as we continue on the story. So little surprises will pop up every now and again. And if you're a fan of horror or thrillers, guess what? You're going to see some pretty obvious parallels to other popular works. You're going to see a little bit of Misery. You're going to see a little bit of Sweeney Todd, for obvious reasons. Oh, and it definitely gave Final Destination vibes. I Know What You Did Last Summer, and even one character starts looking like Chucky. This show, though, is unapologetically dark, so please be mindful of trigger warnings. Originally, when I saw that it was longer than 2 seasons and I had just started, I was like, oh, how are they going to drag this out? Wrap it up! But by the time I finished season 2, I was like, where is it? Where's season 3? Give it to me now! As of now, it's going to come out in February, I believe, of 2025. So I'm more than ready for it. I need it, and I need to be able to binge it.